I'm Emily. I'm with Women Wednesday cooking group, and I'm here with Chef Nikki. So what made you become interested in cooking professionally?
So I was interested in cooking at a very young age. My sister, I have an older sister, and she, used to love watching cooking shows. And so, because she was the older sister, she always got to pick what we watched. So I kind of like learned by watching all the old PBS shows. And then as I got older, I just, I worked in restaurants from, the age of 15, whether it was front of the house or back of the house or whatever. And it's just a fun career. I just loved it. I loved being in restaurants. I've met some extraordinary people, at restaurants. And so, that's kind of what got me into cooking.
Okay. So what are some obstacles you've had to overcome to get your position as a chef?
Some obstacles. I think that, you know, it's definitely a male dominated field. And so it's, you really have to work 10 times harder than the guys in order to get recognition and, kind of pave your way. But some obstacles for me, I'm 5 feet tall, so I kind of have a height challenge because everything's made for tall people. That's something I am challenged with every day. But I think that gaining confidence is an obstacle to go through. But once you gain your confidence, you definitely can kind of start working better jobs or applying for better jobs and going for those things that you wouldn't ordinarily go for, like those jobs that you would go for, so that because you have confidence.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so what's your least favorite and favorite part of your job?
My least favorite part of the job, it's no secret that chefs, we miss out on birthdays and we work long hours. And so, you basically are, the restaurant comes first a lot of the times, and people don't really understand how much you miss out on by being a chef. And so, or working in the restaurant, food and beverage industry, because we're working while everybody's off, they're playing. Yeah. So that's like one of the things that I'm like, is not the greatest part of being in the culinary field. The best part, was that a question too?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say like one of the best parts is for me, I had the opportunity to work on a super yacht, and I worked on that yacht for 2 years, and I saw the world and got paid for it. We did our summers in the Mediterranean and winters in the Caribbean, and I got to go to the Galapagos Islands and all these crazy fun places and just live this incredible life for 2 solid years. And that was, I wouldn't trade that for anything. It was the most amazing experience ever. And now it seems like a dream, like it never even happened, but it happened. I have pictures. So that was a really fun part.
And are there any cooking skills that you think everyone should have?
So cooking skills, I always defer to the three things I think everybody needs to learn. The first thing is some basic knife skills, so that you can be safe when you're. Hey, I'm in the middle of the. So, basic knife skills so that you don't cut your fingers off, and that you can your food looks presentable. The second thing is food temperatures, what temperature foods cook to. So like chicken cooks to 165 degrees. If you cook it to 180 degrees, you're going to have dried out chicken all the time. That's probably why your chicken is dry, because you're not cooking it to the right temperature. You don't want to cook it under the temperature, because then you can get food poisoning, so a thermometer. And the last thing is always the braising sequence, which is a technique of cooking food that allows you to cook an exponential amount of dishes from all over the world with the same technique. So those are the three things I suggest.
I need to work on all of this. So. What kitchen utensils do you recommend?
Kitchen utensils, it kind of piggybacks on the skills, and so a good set of knives. I mean, if you have a good set of knives, they'll last you a really long time, especially if you take care of them. Another thing is the thermometer. Everybody needs to have a thermometer, I think, and a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
And the reason for the cast iron skillet is so that you can cook a lot of things in that skillet, and it has, you can have a perfect crust for everything. I mean, I make everything from cornbread in my cast iron skillet to steaks and veggies. I mean, I use it for everything.
Okay. And are there any ways that COVID has impacted your work?
So COVID has really affected the food and beverage industry. I was laid off for a little bit of time, and I really had to kind of pivot what I was doing so I could stay busy and not lose my mind in all this, pandemic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was really hard watching the restaurant industry kind of like take a crumble like that, because people couldn't go out to eat and socialize, and it just never dawned on me that this could possibly happen. So watching it happen really shocked me. It affected the food industry greatly as far as supply chain issues. We couldn't get butter and yeast. I'm sure you saw that. Everybody was baking bread. It was the weirdest thing. Like, who knew? Like, everybody was going to turn around and go, oh, we're baking bread now. That's the country. we're all making sourdough bread. So so that was that definitely affected the food industry. And then we didn't really know how long it was going to take and whether or not we were going to have jobs. So I was really on pins and needles for a long time, and it was really hard to watch, but it ended up being, and it's still, the food industry is still suffering greatly. And I suggest if you're not going to go out to eat, at least go and get a gift certificate from your favorite independent restaurant and use it at a later date, so that they at least have some sort of revenue stream coming in. Because we got to keep these little places alive. Otherwise, we're not going to have any good places to eat, in the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. So what sort of leadership skills have you used in the kitchen setting that has helped you grow professionally as a chef?
Leadership skills, in the kitchen, you have to have good leadership, and good leadership comes from organization. If you're not organized, your subordinates they're gonna notice that. They're not gonna trust you as a leader, and they're gonna start planning things without your knowledge, and then things kind of like fall apart. So I would say organization is key. You have to have good organization skills so that you're you stay organized and your employees trust you. What was the rest of that question?
That was kind of it. Just what skills have helped you grow professionally as a
yeah. I use my big girl voice too when I'm talking.
Yeah.
That's another leadership skill.
Do you have any advice for a young woman who wants to pursue leadership positions?
My advice is that you're always going to hear people telling you, oh, that you're not going to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. You're also going to hear people call you young lady, and things like that. And so you just have to persevere and keep moving forward and trust in the product that you're selling, which is you. And, just keep on going when people tell you that it's not possible.
Mm-hmm. And the final question, I know you kind of already touched on this, but has your gender ever made it difficult to advance in your career?
I've not had an issue with I've never missed out on a job, I think, because of my gender, unless I am unaware of it. Mm-hmm. The thing that I use as my selling point whenever I'm trying to get a leadership role is that I I went out and I got certified. I got certified as an executive chef. There are very few certified executive chef females in Florida, even. And so I did that in order to make myself marketable. And then I also got a bachelor's degree in food and beverage, food and beverage management. And, I did that as well so that I had a leg up. So to be honest, like, because I have kind of like these pedigree papers that I go, okay, here's my papers. And these are what people say I can do. I'm not only telling you I can do these things, but I had a panel of people certify me and say, yep, Nikki can do this. So that was very helpful whenever I wanted to, put myself forward for a job.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's all I have. Thank you so much for talking to us, though. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And have a nice rest of your day.
You too. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.